Super Saiyan 4 has finally made its way into the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 Dragon Ball Breakers universe. However, sadly, it's only in Dragon Ball the Breakers for now. But there's a hint that it's going to be coming to Xenoverse 2 very, very soon. Hello everyone, it's me again, CAC here, and I actually wanted to talk about both sides of Super Saiyan 4 being in Dragon Ball the Breakers as well as Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So obviously with Super Saiyan 4 being in Breakers, a lot of people are obviously asking, how is it in Breakers and why is it not in Xenoverse 2? And all of Twitter is in a giant cyclone of rage because Breakers doesn't have much use for Super Saiyan 4. Actually, before I talk about Xenoverse 2, here's an old tweet of me actually saying, oh lord, SSJ for this was back in 2022. Oh lord, SSJ for CACs before Xenoverse 2 as well. This wasn't actually SSJ4. This was actually a unique Super Saiyan hairstyle, and Xenoverse 2 also doesn't have that, but I'll get to that after this, right? And I was saying Breakers team going nuts with the additions, that Saiyan tails might actually move, and I think you can actually see in these clips that the Saiyan tail is in fact moving. Yeah, Saiyan tail is moving in the background. You can see in those clips the Saiyan tail actually moves. So I called this 2 years ago. I was correct. I'm just saying, if you want, correct opinions and facts from a handsome man, this is the channel to do it. If you want a guy who may have precognition, this is the channel to subscribe to. I don't want to glaze, I'm just saying. We do have a post here that says Super Saiyan 4 was leaked for Dragon Ball The Breakers and it looks peak. Hopefully this means a one step closer to Super Saiyan 4 and Xenoverse 2. I'll talk about that in a bit, but for now I just want to address all the people's rage. I think the best one is Janemba's. I'm gonna say the less egregious version of this. He says, I'm sorry, but screw Dragon Ball the Xenoverse 2 at times. You're telling me that Dragon Ball the Breakers gets Super Saiyan 4 before Xenoverse 2. Xenoverse 2 has been out for years. It's been out for nearly 8 years now at the time of me making this video. And still no way for this to happen. Just end this game already and give us Dragon Ball Xenoverse free. He then follows up by saying, usually I can concede or chill out on certain stuff, but this is where I draw the line. I couldn't care less if bridges are burnt or if there are negative court retweets. Nearly 8 years of DLCs. Xenoverse and Dragon Ball The Breakers did what Xenoverse 2 refused to do. You know how hype CAC SJ4 transformations would be, but instead of implementing it, they shut their mouths on it, have other stuff in their priority and put it in other games, even if minimal, while expecting folks to shell out money for their DLC packs that include Discount Ultra Ego at home. But this confirms it's going to be in Xenoverse 2, he says in speech. No, it doesn't, and even if it did, that's not proof it'll be implemented this year. It's just speculation at best. So, I would say Janemba's reaction is probably the most common reaction to this, because Xenoverse 2 has been out for a lot longer. Doesn't matter if you think, Xenoverse is a better game than Breakers or not, right? There's just the kind of very obvious fact that one game has been out way longer than the other, to the point where the other game literally just steals its graphics and art style and engine and everything just to exist. And somehow the original game, which still gets updates to this day, isn't the one who got the thing that everyone has been asking for since the game came out. So you could say, hey, Breakers doesn't have Ultra Instinct yet, so that's fine. Well, Breakers hasn't done the Tournament of Power either. I'm pretty sure the second Breakers feels like touching the Tournament of Power. They'll get Ultra Instinct. Breakers already has Beast in it, for God's sakes, right? So Breakers will get Ultra Instinct. They already have Orange. They already have Orange Piccolo, right? Breakers has a lot of stuff that Xenoverse 2 still doesn't actually give characters. Even unique super attacks that Xenoverse 2 still doesn't have. So I think, and keep in mind, Breakers gets updates to that at a really, really, really bad pace. And it still manages to have all this stuff in. So I would say probably in the next 2 years, Breakers would have every super attack Xenoverse 2 had, assuming Breakers survives 2 years. But I would say Breakers would have every super attack Xenoverse 2 has, as well as every single character model that Xenoverse 2 also has, and then still have more stuff in it, because they've somehow given that much attention to Breakers. I will further go down Janemba's thread. He says, I am legit shocked how many times people have requested this. How many times have people asked and begged the developers to add in a way for you to transform into Super Saiyan 4? Xenoverse Glazers will defend this and try to shield Xenoverse 2 from critique. F that, I don't give a crap anymore. Sparking Zero smashes this game, and quite frankly, even the Breakers has advantages over this game. Put this six-plus-year-old game to bed and put out a sequel instead of mid-DLCs. And I can kind of see where he's getting with this. I'm more of the opinion, though, that there shouldn't be a Xenoverse 3 either. I'm of the opinion that Xenoverse should probably just end, because all it does is milk the consumer base and give them extremely minor enjoyment in return at most, right? The hype from getting a new Xenoverse 2 DLC lasts a day. maybe less if it's like a DLC like the God of Destruction Turbo and Pycon one, where you're not interested in the characters and their moves. Or I mean, you could be interested in Hakai, but they'll just nerf it anyways, right? So, you know, it's a good thing you spent how many hours farming that skill from a parallel quest. No, but yeah, the natural reaction to people seeing Super Saiyan 4 is one of a lot of upset that yeah, F you mean Breakers get Super Saiyan 4 before Xenoverse 2, F this game. Yeah, so I don't want to keep going down. I don't want to like spread Breakers hate. Now let's talk about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2's part in this when it comes to all of this juicy stuff. But yes, Xenoverse 2 actually does have a good chance of getting this now that Breakers has it. And I know that might sound like a cope, but Breakers actually had Goku Black Scythe data mined in the game. I think at least a few months before the Xenoverse 2 DLC actually like was announced with a new Rose Goku Black in it. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying that everything that comes to Breakers ends up in Xenoverse 2 because we still didn't have Whis' clothes, for example, and there's still many super attacks we're missing, right? But Super Saiyan 4 is an actual popular thing. Don't get me wrong, Whis' clothes are also popular, Hit's clothes are popular, but Super Saiyan 4 is genuinely like such a high point. Even from a series that most people don't even like Dragon Ball GT, Super Saiyan 4 is an absurdly high point, and it would make money. Bandai knows this. So obviously, you know, before Sparking Zero comes out, they'll probably throw a Xenoverse 2 SSJ4 at us real quick. I can imagine that, at the very least. Like again, Rose Goku Black Scythe was data mined in Dragon Ball The Breakers before it eventually became available for Xenoverse 2 characters. Now, we didn't actually get the Super Saiyan Rose that came with the Scythe, massive disappointment, but Super Saiyan Rose is just a reskin Super Saiyan Blue, so when you argue what would you want more, Rose or SSJ4, I think most people would undeniably say SSJ4. One of them is a blue reskin, the other one is literally a new transformation that changes your character's design and actually gives you the moving Saiyan tails you asked for like the last 7, nearly 8 years now. But Moon Kaku says, since a few people are mad about SSJ4, in Breakers you become a character basically. You could see his entire costume turns into Vegeta's, and in Xenoverse there's no quick or easy way of making fur variations for every single wrist, pants, and boots, plus setting them up properly on every character, you know, because every custom character is also going to look different. They're going to have a different facial combination, different like sizes, different skin colors, etc, right? He follows up by saying, let's say we get SSJ4 for CACs. Okay, your bust has fur. What about your legs or your hands? Will everyone have SSJ4 or Goku's hair? The amount of development required for a single skill would be massive. Breakers has SSJ4 because it doesn't need to worry about any of these things. And I do agree with the most part that obviously, you know, this would be a very like long and hard and, you know, big thing to make. But Xenoverse 2 has shown examples already of going like kind of further beyond when it comes to unique things. I think they can easily do SSJ4. Again, the easy way I would say to do this is that just make one like fur rig or model for both male and female Saiyans. And like, let's say on concept, they have like a naked SSJ4, right? It's just got red fur across its entire body. And when you put something like gloves on, for example, it would remove the fur from the hands. When you put something that has long sleeves on, it would remove the fur from the arms. If you put something on that is like short pants, it, you know, exposes the fur down the legs. If you put something on that's long pants, it would remove the fur from the legs. The same with shoes, vice versa. Xenoverse 2 does do this for every other outfit in the game. Certain character like aesthetics get lost or reappear suddenly when you unequip and when you unequip and re-equip certain items of like clothing, right? I think with that in mind, they can easily do SSJ4. The only issue is that they'd have to make an entirely new model, and for some reason they refuse to do that. They only want to do that for new characters. So that's the biggest issue. They only need to make one model, then just make it so that certain parts go on and off, just like, for example, Frieza tails and all these other like Namekian antennas, all these other like features that disappear and reappear with characters when you put helmets on them or change different parts of their bodies, etc, right? I don't think this is actually as hard as he's making out to be. I do agree with Slowplace here saying that they would have to balance SSJ4, because the only thing I think they can do now with SSJ4 is give it like, I don't know, absurd key recovery and like a massive defense boost. That's the only unique thing left. But then even then, massive defense boost is unique to Evolution Blue. So balancing this would be the hardest thing to do. If you guys actually have any stat recommendations you would say for Super Saiyan 4, put those in the comment section too, actually. Like, what would you give Super Saiyan 4? Like 25% damage reduction and like, I don't know, 100% like key gain or something? Since Goku doesn't actually lose, like, he doesn't struggle in Super Saiyan 4, right? He has like no key strain to upkeep like in Super Saiyan 3. I think a key mechanic that gives you like faster key would be cool, but I wouldn't say give it a massive damage mechanic, because then it kind of starts rivaling, or it starts getting compared to the Super Saiyan Blue and Blue Evolution, right? Again, these are all super confusing things, but Slowplace actually left a good suggestion, and I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section down below about that. Either way, I think this is a good place to end the video. Again, I think we'll be getting Super Saiyan 4 very soon, because Breakers can't just hog all of that to itself. That's extremely selfish, considering we've been waiting ages for in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and it's way more utility for in Xenoverse 2 than I do believe that there is for in Breakers, since, you know, custom characters in Xenoverse 2 are more diverse. But either way, I think this is all a place to end the video, and I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed, then obviously again, please leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to greatly support the channel, and leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next. Love you all, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take care, and peace.